Sagittarius, happy solar returns. If you have sun rising or your moon is in the sign, this is your December 2021 soul story. And the first message I have for you, Sagittarius, is that help is on its way. So my name is Romy. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to break the energies down and give you some insights on the best way to navigate this electrifying finale to the year in terms of the astrological transits that are coming through and what they mean for you. So we're opening up with the energy of the Two of Wands, and we can see that there is a breeze coming through here. You can see how this ribbon and the cape is kind of bellowing behind him, and there are some really powerful dramatic conclusions that are coming through this month. And as you hold the world in your hand, as you look out to the horizon and you start to really come to terms with this very personal but very powerful new vision that is emerging for you, you need to be under no doubt, Sagittarius, that the way in which the universe is conspiring through the course of this month, the sliding doors, the karmic clearing, you know, this is about getting you to where you need to be in order to receive the fullness of what this vision looks like for you. Now, the Two of Wands is saying it's a time to plan, it's a time to strategize. Neptune shifts direct on the 1st of the month, and so we have a little bit more of a alignment with some of the ideas and the creative inspiration that's going to help us to get out of any situation or experience that we are finding ourselves in, and it needs a plan. There's a plan that is forming for you, okay? Now, the 4th of the month, we're going to welcome the solar eclipse in your sign coming in at 12 degrees. This is the big closeout of you working with the South Node moving through your sign. Back to March 2020 is when this began. So what has changed for you? Look at what you have released, how you have transformed your energy. It's been miraculous. Now, this is going to deliver for you a blinding truth. You know, the solar eclipse comes in, and the kind of the final message of the year, if you like, is going to be triggered. You may even already have had a sense of what that was going to look like, but be aware that actually when it lands for you during this time of the new moon coming in on the 4th of the month, you are going to be left in absolutely no doubt in terms of what the next step looks like. Now, remember what I said, help is on its way for you. So this is not something that you have to do alone. Your energy of the Lovers comes through because there's also going to be a real clear indication for you of where you can invest your trust, who you can count on, who's going to be a part of the new pathway or the new journey that's going to be emerging for you. Now, let's be reminded that Venus is already in its shadow retrograde, but it fully shifts into retrograde in Capricorn on the 19th of the month. Now remember, Venus is ruling your self-esteem, your sense of value, your love, relationships, your relationship with money, beauty and harmony in your world. And when it goes offline, when it takes this backspin, it's significant in terms of the impact in these areas. Now, Capricorn energy, second house for you, there's such a strong emphasis in and around your abundance, your state of abundance, your mindset around being able to receive these things. We want to be careful that we are not doing anything that we feel cannot be reversed or adjusted during this period of retrograde, okay? But it's also likely that you are set to see things coming back that are, you know, meant to be a part of your path, that are owed to you, that are meant to be addressed so that you can really come to terms with something and find some healing energy in that. Now, the other thing is that we also have Chiron shifting direct in Aries on the 19th, the same day that Venus shifts retrograde. So there's deep healing that can come about as a result of this transit. But remember, this is an electrifying month with some dramatic conclusions. And what we need to be careful of, Sagittarius, is this spinning out energy that I see really coming through. What that means is that you're going to have to avoid sort of moving too heavily into savior mode, okay? Because as you observe things around you, what you might start to realize is that there's all kinds of crazy happening immediately on the other side of the door from you. And if you allow yourself to be kind of swept up in that, it's really going to stop your focus and your clarity about where this new personal vision is emerging. Now you can see you're actually turning your back to a certain extent on the energy of the lovers here. So even though we're very clear about the importance and the significance of key relationships and partnerships and connections in our world, and Venus is going to have us tracking back, it is not at the cost of making those future plans for yourself. There's something in the message here for me that says you need to keep going on the sense of this independent path that says, okay, I've got to do what's right for me. And then, yes, I'm going to have the opportunity to come together in those personal and professional situations and figure out how that then meets with the wider directive. But the most important thing is that, you have to make a choice to change because of what you've been going through in terms of this release and how the last 12 months have really served you. And that depth of awareness is so strong now for you, Sagittarius. This is your solar returns energy, a time for you to really step out. Your Seven of Swords is demanding that you get really clear that even when somebody looks like they're coming forth with an offer, an opportunity, or something that feels good, there's a hidden agenda, there is hidden motive here, okay? And this isn't to scare you, it's not to upheaval you. What it's about is that, through the month of December, there are portals of possibility everywhere. Now, what you need to be really clear about, and you have the advantage with that mutability of your energy, is that you shapeshift in order to allow yourself to more easily navigate through all of these clashing timelines. Now, Mars is moving into your sign on the 13th. That's going to give you extra drive and passion and the wherewithal to be able to overcome any kind of hoodwink energy, anyone that's trying to, manipulate, coerce, or kind of drive you off in the wrong direction. But of course, remember, when we talk about Venus energy and the lovers is coming through with a reminder here, we also talk about self-esteem and self-worth. And so part of the plans that you're making for yourself, this is really important, especially when it's directly connected into areas of abundance, okay? Part of the plans that you're making, Sagittarius, need to come from a place of this newfound sense of your value and worth. Now, this is your solar returns. You're stepping out with a brand new identity, brand new part of yourself. It's never been born or birthed in this time and space reality before. How are you going to do things differently? How does that change your outlook of the world, your perception of yourself? This is so important in December. These kind of decisions that you're going to be making, are coming in with a kind of a sense of finality and permanence. Now, we can't not address the fact that this month on the 24th, Christmas Eve energy, Saturn is going to square Uranus. It's the third clash of the Titans this year, the old versus the new. The division is strong. The questions you're going to be asking yourself is it stable enough? Is it sustainable enough to be able to capture this new idea, this new pathway, this new journey? Well, in all honesty, Sagittarius, the truth of the answer there is probably not at this time, but that doesn't mean that you can't go. You can't not go. Do you hear me? You just literally can't not go. You can't not make a choice to change. That option is kind of off the table, so you're going to be pulled. And there is going to be that part of you that's going to want to kick into savior mode. What about everyone else? What about this? What about that? You're going to have so many things that are going to try to block you and stop you. That squaring energy, really causing that disruption. The moon, the confusion, the kind of feeling uncertain or doubtful. But again, it's like not buying into Seven of Swords and the moon energy, the narrative and the directive of somebody trying to influence you at this 11th hour, when from a spiritual perspective, from a higher self, you've already made the decision to change and to evolve and to grow. So you are going to be in a position where you're going to have to kind of walk your talk. You're going to have to demonstrate, most importantly to yourself, but also to other people, yes, I fully stand by this, and this new value system that's been created, this new whole decision that you have come to either forcibly or willingly has put you in a place now where you are reimagining huge parts of your life at this moment in time. And the gifts that 2021 have given you are directly preparing you for what comes next. Now, there is a beautiful healing energy that is coming in powerfully through this month of December, and we want you to be able to feel the support and the help of that. So when I talk about help on its way, where is that coming from? Well, first of all, it's coming from your own ability to trust more clearly in your higher self, in spirit. Now Jupiter's shifting into Pisces at the end of the month, and what that's going to do for you is really allow you to have new vision and clarity for the future from a feeling that's coming from deep inside of you. Now, does that mean it's easy to communicate to others? Does that mean it's easy to share that vision and have people get on board with it? Well, in some aspects, yes. And it may be that you're coming back into contact with people during that Venus retrograde, or you are aligning with people who are going through similar situations, and that there is a bonding and a forging of a stronger sense of alliance from that. But it also might mean temporarily that through this month you have to really figure out an independent strategy and understand that spirit are going to start to then bring in the right people, the right energies and the supportive pathways that are going to help you to realise that actually you're never alone, and that this is about a sense of unity and coming together. But initially, you have to come to something within the self. Now there's messages that are coming. You've got 2 and 3 of Wands. You're looking far afield. You're trying to second guess something in yourself. If I go in this direction, what does it mean? If I take this opportunity, where will that put me? And so part of that might bring up some doubt and some fear about letting go of something that feels more stable or comfortable. And again, like I said, because there's so much spinning out energy, people feeling a little bit out of control through the month of December in various ways. There's going to be an aspect of you kind of in some aspects having to step up and demonstrate to other people this is the way in which you move through this chaotic energy. You're very used to that. You're a mutable energy, so you can cope with that shape shifting. There are other signs that are going to find it much more challenging. Now, one of the questions I want you to be asking yourself through this month of December, and it's really important in areas of your work, of your business and relationships, and really with where you are in your own soul journey, what's going to be enough? What's going to be enough, Sagittarius? This is where you're really going to start to get to the kind of root issue of some of the things that are continuing to drive you, that are not supportive or conducive to you being able to find balance and peace in your world. Knight of Pentacles is talking to me about how you are ready to commit, where you're going to be prepared to show up for something. There's an investment here that's about to be made, and that investment is coming directly because of that personal vision that has emerged for you. Now let's also talk about the fact that the Knight of Pentacles comes in with Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Again, you are looking in the opposite direction, exactly the same as with the Lovers here. Now, I'm not interpreting this for you, Sagittarius, as a kind of a breaking apart, a splitting up, a letting go, although for some of you that may be the experience during retrograde energy. Rather, what I'm looking at is a very clear decision that says, first of all, I have to prioritize where I feel spiritually, intuitively, I'm being guided and drawn towards, and I have to honor that. I have to respect that, because this is the powerful conclusion that I have come to about my pathway and what I've experienced and what I feel I'm being given at this moment in time. Now, that does not mean that you will not then circle back around to be able to join or to be able to come into harmony and union again. But there is something that you need to understand about what's going on here in terms of you kind of really placing your sense of security within your own connection to the self, rather than in waiting or feeling like any one person or any situation or experience can be the saviour of you. So just as we invite you not to be the saviour of others when they need to experience something really important for themselves through this month of December, we also ask it of you. And in doing so, this is where, ironically, help then comes in, and energies and insights and inspiration starts to unfold for you in a way that's going to feel really meaningful. So Mercury shifts into Capricorn on the 13th. It's been in your sign in that first part of December, and again, that's going to be helping you to start to communicate much more progressively, starting to tap into solutions that feel not just in the short term something that can be supportive, but actually much further out. And there's something here where I feel with the Page of Swords coming through that there's a newness to this. You know, we're trying and testing out theories, ideas, possibilities that have never been before. You know, and so there is a little bit of an uncertainty, but we're needing you to be willing and open and curious and not start to make judgment based on what you are observing or looking at in terms of what's going on around you. I feel like, you know, there is a wielding of this sword right now. The cloud is in the background, but let's just focus on how brilliantly blue that sky is. This is what I mean. Like it's such a charged up energy in December, Sagittarius, that what you're going to find is that even though there are these storms, these kind of portals of energy that just are trying to kind of suck you into that narrative and that sort of disruption, these clashing of titan energies, at the same time there's this clarity and this brilliance and this almost feeling of like radiant kind of ascension that you're gonna find it difficult to put into words. You're gonna find it hard to articulate it, but you're gonna feel it right in your belly, and it's going to change the way that you start to really talk about what the future looks like for you. And that's on you, as it's on me, as it's on each and every one of us, to start to look at our energy expression and really make sure that what we're putting out into the world is aligning with what we know to be true within us. So don't cheat on yourself and don't cheat on others by saying and doing things that you know are not really backing up what is true for you within you. This is a month that will call you out on that. But what you have to say is important, and I know that that sword is going to cut right through any sense of deception, any sense of feeling like you are being backed into a corner or not clear about what the right way forward is. Now, from a relationship perspective, it shows me that there will be lots of discussions and negotiations taking place this month. And a lot of that is going to be about commitment and the future. It is going to be about the long term. Your 2 and 3 of Wands here demonstrating to me that, you know, you're at a place now where both personally, professionally, romantically, the people that you are deciding to align with, to engage with, to connect with, you know, and to have that important discussion, you know, to share of yourself, you know, are people that you want with you for the long term. And so anyone who can't make the cut energetically because they are on too different a frequency, the channel that they're on is too far away from you, will be let go, will be released. You will withdraw your energy, you will move on, you will say goodbye. They will be directed in a different way. And so, you know, expect that to be the case through this month of December, but understand at the same time as that release, which you have been working with really since this March 2020. So it's not a brand new feeling for you. It's a continuation and a final dramatic conclusion of that, you know. But there's also something deeply healing about it, because you will be creating and making space for so much new energy to come in the new year. And this is where you'll start to kind of really open up to the help that wants to come in for you as well. Queen of Wands, okay, I love this fire for you coming through. And to me, she really looks at ease here, Sagittarius. She looks comfortable with her decisions. She looks like she's got to a state of mind that has deep acceptance in it. She's been able to direct and manage her energy, her emotions, her passion, her power. And from that, she's been able to manifest and actually start to see the deliverance of something, to the degree that she can say, okay, you know what? I can look in the mirror and feel really good about myself right now. I know that what this month has shown me, I have really come to understand in a way that is deeply personal for me, and that I am choosing to make a choice to change right now, and that depth of awareness that we talked about has really allowed some proper permanent growth for you. I really love her coming in, because she is going to give you the drive and the desire, but also this acceptance, and there's a warmth that's radiating from you. And let me be really clear, even though I'm talking about this energy of needing to be independent in terms of this personal vision and knowing the direction that you're going, and kind of having in some regards to sort of do that alone and find space to kind of really sit with that, at the same time, as soon as you've gone through that process, there's this beautiful welcoming energy that kind of bursts out and radiates from you, that then starts to kind of hold space for other people to be able to kind of really get a clear understanding of where you are and what you stand for, and how they can help or support, or where they want to kind of align with you. So it really it's the sort of the things coming in the right order, and we want you to kind of understand that the things that you're going to have to say this month, you need to say them to yourself and make sure that you're really on board with them before you decide to communicate them out to others. And the reason I say that is, with that retrograde energy, it could be that you haven't really done the work to kind of fully figure out if this is actually what you think and feel and want and believe. And then when you start to say the words, they're not going to sound right, and therefore the impact of them is in the wrong divine order, and therefore has a cause and effect that could be more uncomfortable for you. And you'll get a real clear understanding when that's the case, okay? So you'll be able to rectify that, you'll be able to put things right, because of course during those retrograde season we always have the opportunity to make an adjustment and to go back over something. Now the full moon's going to be in Gemini this month. It's coming in on the 18th, 19th at 27 degrees. Of course, a firm emphasis around that Mercury ruled energy, about the way that we think, how we're putting those plans into motion, how we're dealing with the polarization and the sense of duality, not only that exists within us, but also exists around us. And of course, we've got the Lover's card here that links into the sign of Gemini. And there's being, again, this emphasis around take care of your energy, and then come together and then watch what happens from there. Something really magical can arrive as a result of the illumination of that full moon for me, in terms of who you decide to align to, how that's going to support you in some of the personal visions that are starting to emerge. There's a sense of growing confidence around something as we make our way toward the end of the month in December for you, okay? And you got to remember that Saturn squaring Uranus, it's going to have a volcanic-like effect. Think back to February, 17th of February and the 14th of June, for you to get kind of a personal idea of perhaps some of the themes that you're going to be again revisiting and sort of closing out from this year. But it will have that ripple effect. But what I'm looking at is you in a place of elevated position here. You're up above on the rocks here, you're up high on the horse here. So there's something about seeking higher ground and being able to tap into kind of a spiritual understanding about what's happening and why it might be occurring in a specific way for you, okay? But again, that Queen of Wands, I can't get away from that. She looks like she's in a place of deep acceptance around things, okay? It's really important. Okay, Page of Wands. Almost dazzled by the brilliance. Again, I want to kind of link into the energy of the blue sky, this brilliant blue sky that's coming in. Page of Swords, Three of Wands here. And, feeling almost dazzled by something. You may well have an experience through the month of December that absolutely rocks your world in many aspects, just being given insight or seeing something unfolding. Of course, again, there's a sense of generative energy around it. So it's the creation of something, it's something new coming in. It's something that you can feel a rising sense of optimism, and not only a determined spirit, but also one that's kind of absolutely ready and willing to participate, to engage, to get involved in, okay? So there's something that's going to really drive you to want to participate, and I feel that that's as a result of the work that you've been able to do when you've taken time for yourself, okay? Now again, a lot of communication coming in with these pages, so messages making their way towards you, and some of the offers that I feel are being presented to you are meaningful, but do remember with that Venus retrograde, you know, you want to be careful because it can be almost like that hypnotic spell. So we want to make sure we've always got a plan B or a get out clause, or that you're not signing up to anything that feels like it's so permanent and so rigid that if you wanted to, you wouldn't be able to make any changes. Okay, that's not going to work well. So we want to come with an openness and a willingness. And I feel like we want to make sure that we can trust those who we are aligning and getting involved with, because there's definitely this energy of some rather less than desirable or favourable people that might be showing up to try to distract you a little bit through the course of this month. But what I'm looking at is an opportunity for these sliding door moments to really come in and kind of give you a sense of yeah, this is the direction, this is what I want, this is where I feel I need to be. And that sense of certainty is coming through quite powerfully. But like I said, remember, you need to ask yourself the question, what's going to be enough? What's going to be enough? Because maybe you're going to be in a position through the course of this month where you're like, you know what, I don't need to keep pushing for more. What I need to do is actually like address what I have now and make that even better and make that feel more of a permanent state for me, rather than feeling like I need to keep adding to something. Okay, I feel like I need to remind you of that. So let's take a look, Sagittarius, and see how these oracle cards just want to join the conversation for you. Okay, so this is the new deck by Kyle Gray, Gateway of Light Activation. You can find all of the decks in the comment section and the description box underneath. Okay, sacred inner space, your sacral chakra, tenderness, sensuality. Of course, Venus really is reminding us to get back in touch with those aspects of ourselves. And of course, your sacral chakra as well, you know, that fire, that spirit fire is going to be found. And I know you're going to tap into that this month. I can see this through your reading, you know, that generative, creative energy, that willingness to kind of explore and to come back into harmony and unite with something within the self and come into complete alignment with that is going to be really, really powerful. You know, again, we've got this brilliant, radiant light that's coming in, and I feel like it's connected into this Page of Wands. It's like there's a deliverance of a message here for you. You know, when you take time to kind of create some space for yourself in December, I know it's not easy at this time of year, but it is going to be important because you are going to come to some really firm conclusion. You know, and again, with Neptune shifting direct, with Chiron shifting direct, you know, the energies are starting to really deliver some, you know, healing and insight in terms of, you know, what you have been addressing within your relationship to yourself through the course of 2021, that I think in hindsight is going to give you, it is going to feel extraordinary actually when you look back and think about the ways in which you've changed, you know, this last 12 months. So, okay, we're going to just look at the Starcode Astro Oracle now. Okay, you've got the energy of Leo, beautiful, a fellow fire energy coming through with shine. You know, we're looking at number 5 here, which of course does bring about a sense of tension. 2021 has been a year number 5, and it has unearthed things. It's like the pressure to reveal the diamond, isn't it? So the way in which you shine is by feeling into those aspects of the self that are uncomfortable and allowing them to be revealed, coming at it from a place of heart and passion and belief. You know, you're fueled this month, Sagittarius, by your own spirit fire and your own spiritual faith. And Leo says that you have something to say, you have something to share, you have something to really put out to the world in a way. Again, it's got this warmth, you know, this energy, this warmth and this radiance. So, you know, very magnetic in terms of where you choose to deliberately express things after you've come into like a full place of acceptance with yourself over them. Okay, so yeah, they're going to have impact. What you say, what you do, professionally, personally, within dynamics of the family, all going to have a very powerful rippling effect coming through. So okay, your goddess energy is Artemis. Focus. I am tenacious and unwavering in my intention. And of course, you know, she links into the sign of Sagittarius. Here is your bow for your arrows of truth. Her crown chakra is completely illuminated here. The sacred temple where she spent time contemplating, meditating, really coming into union with something. Again, the deer here indicating a level of trust, and we even have the kind of almost like the solar eclipse energy coming through here. There's a quietness and a stillness, but an absolute steely determination that is emerging for you this month because of this personal vision and your utter knowing that this is what's going to be right for you. Okay, Sagittarius, this is a general reading for the month of December. We're going to go ahead now and pull a couple of cards in terms of a specific question that you have, a personal question that might not have come up in the main spread. So I'm just going to invite you to put your focus on that for me just now. Go ahead and pull a couple of cards for you. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and clarify this main reading now. Just kind of picking up that we've got the stag here and also the deer, and beautiful sacred trust coming in for you this month. Alright, so just beginning with the Two of Wands. What else do we need to know? Page of Wands. The World, beautiful. And Three of Cups. Devil, Magician, Eight of Swords. Perhaps what we do need to turn our back on, you know, those situations that have felt too stressful, too toxic. Permanent ending coming in with the Ten of Swords, but look at that beautiful star energy. There's that steely determination coming in again. Queen of Swords might also be an air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Love that, another Queen of Wands. Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Cups. Okay. There's such an upside to so much of the upheaval that you're experiencing right now. Ace of Swords, beautiful. Five of Cups. Okay, Sagittarius, if you would like to join me for the extended version of this reading, we're going to speak for another 20 minutes or so and pull out some additional insights as well as cover your personal question. You can find the link for that in the description box and the comment section underneath. Be sure to check back in with this reading throughout December and see how some of these messages just show up for you in a more resonant way as well as things continue to unfold. And if you have found it helpful, please do drop me a like and a comment. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It helps to support me as long as you know, you're here and tuned in and enjoying the work. Thank you so much. I wish you beautiful solar returns, and yeah, thanks for being here. We'll see you again in the new year.